Zombies, dragons, and talking animals? Are these things really in the Bible? The next time you hear someone say the Bible is boring, let them know about these wild, true stories. Talking animals might be easy enough to remember. Satan appeared to Adam and Eve as a snake that spoke to them, and for some reason they didn't seem surprised by this. It makes us wonder if all animals spoke before sin entered the world. But there's also a lesser-known story of a talking animal that we find in Numbers chapter 22. In this chapter, we hear about a prophet named Balaam and his donkey. Now, Balaam was not a prophet of the one true God, and in fact ended up on a journey atop his donkey to go and curse the nation of Israel, God's chosen people. God knew Balaam's intentions and decided to stop him. He did this by sending an angel to block the way that Balaam was riding. Balaam didn't see the angel, but the donkey did, so the donkey turned off the road. Balaam was confused and angry, so he began to beat the donkey to get him back on the road. This happened 2 more times, and now it was the donkey who was angry. Numbers 22:28. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Then Balaam and the donkey had a little conversation. Balaam also did not seem too alarmed that the animal was speaking to him. Then God allowed Balaam to see the angel too, and instead of cursing Israel, he blessed it. Now some might wonder if this really happened. First of all, in 1967, an ancient text was discovered that mentions this prophet, Balaam of Beor, several times, exactly as he's mentioned in the Bible. And if Balaam's real, why would he make up a story that made him look so foolish? People don't usually make up lies unless it makes them look cool. We also know that God has complete authority over his creation, and that even if it sounds unbelievable, a talking animal is well within God's power and ability. Now as for dragons, throughout Revelation, we read about Satan's final battle with God where he appears as a dragon and is ultimately defeated forever. Other such creatures, such as sea monsters, sometimes referred to as Leviathan, are also mentioned in Ezekiel, Job, and Psalms. Perhaps the most notable reference is in Job 41, where a monstrous creature is described in length with phrases like this. Job 41:19. Flames stream from its mouth, sparks of fire shoot out. It's up for debate whether this account should be taken as an imaginative poem or describing something very real. Job is thought to have taken place during the time of Genesis, so it's very possible that this was no fairy tale, and that such a creature existed while the Earth's population was still quite small. Or maybe it lives on as the elusive Ogopogo in Lake Okanagan. Who knows? Now this last one is my personal favorite. Do you believe me when I say that the Bible tells us about a whole mob of people that rose from their graves all at once? They probably didn't look like the gross zombies depicted on TV and in movies. They were simply dead people that God brought back to life. And this isn't in some obscure book of the Bible that you forgot about. It's in the book of Matthew, in the middle of a story that we hear every year. Let's read it for ourselves. These verses come just as Jesus is about to die on the cross. Matthew 27:50-54. And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in 2 from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. The bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God." The bodies of many people who followed God were raised to life, and then they walked into the city and appeared to many people. We do not worship a boring God, but one who is unlimited in power and creativity. When we see him at work, may our hearts respond as the centurions did. Surely Jesus is the Son of God.